The air in the Jurassic rainforest is a wet blanket, heavy with the scent of decaying giant ferns. Tail, leader of the river people's hunting party, holds up a hand, his knuckles scarred from a lifetime of shaping flint. 3 fingers. The signal ripples back through the 5 hunters behind him, their bodies painted in mud and ash, melting into the colossal roots of a cycad. Their prey is close, a lone Parasaurolophus, separated from its herd, grazes in the clearing ahead, its mournful call echoing through the canopy. Its flank is a mountain of flesh, enough to feed the clans for a week. This is the rhythm of their life, the ancient pulse of hunt and feed that has defined early humans for 100,000 seasons. Their survival skills are sharp, honed on the whetstone of a world that wants them dead. A sound cuts through the familiar drone of insect. It is not the deep minus-throated warning of the hadrosaur, nor the distant tremor of a sauropod. It is a high minus pitch, chittering whistle from the left flank, too intelligent for a bird. Kayla sighs no. He turns his head slowly, a statue coming to life, and sees a flicker of movement in the undergrowth. Not well. 5. They move with a liquid grace, feathered bodies striped like the shadows they inhabit. Deinonychus. He feels a cold dread snake up his spine. A wild pack would be a threat, but this is different. They are not converging on the bigger, easier meal of the Parasaurolophus. They are looking at the hunters. Their formation is not a chaotic swarm. It is a pincer. He opens his mouth to give the warning, but the forest explodes. From the right, a volley of sharpened sticks, their points hardened in fire, arcs through the air. One thuds into Olen's shoulder, spinning him around with a grunt of pain. Before he can recover, a feathered bee erupts from the ferns. The Deinonychus is on him, its terrible sickle claw, a remnant of a darker age of prehistoric life. Kicking out with piston minus like force, the sound of tearing flesh is sickeningly loud. Then the others come. Out of the trees step more figures, lean and weary like themselves, but their faces are smeared with red ochre. The Red Hounds, another clan of Homo Habilis. But they are not alone. They move with the raptors, a synchronized wave of death. A red-hand warrior points his spear, not at a man, but towards a gap in the river people's right defense. A Deinonychus responds instantly, peeling away from the main attack to exploit the opening. This is not a random encounter. This is an alliance, a terrifying perversion of nature. The river of survival carves a new, bloody channel through the bedrock of their world. A horrifying turning point in hominid history. Kale roars, swinging his stone axe, but for every red hand he faces, a feathered demon harries his side. Its intelligent, reptilian eyes promising a swift and brutal end. The retreat is a bloody, chaotic scramble. Kale shoves Youngdor forward, his own axe a blur of flint and wood, keeping the raptor at bay. The creature is unnervingly smart, feinting left, then darting right, its sickle clawed racing arcs in the air just beyond his reach. He sees another hunter, T-arm, go down, not to a spear, but to 2 Deinonychuses that flank him with chilling coordination. One latches onto his leg while the other rips into his side. It is a slaughter. The red hands and their living weapons are not just fighting. They are dismantling the river people with the precision of a butcher. Kel grabs Lauren, the wounded mana, pulling them back through the crushing vegetation. They are the only ones left. 3 survivors from 6. The cost of underestimating their own kind. They find shelter in a shallow cave carved into a sandstone cliff. A place of last resort they have known since childhood. The chittering calls of the raptors echo from the jungle. Closer now. The red hounds are taking their time, letting their pets wear down the survivor's nerve. Marna groans, clutching a deep gash in her leg. Kale frantically bags it with moss, but the bleeding won't stop. They are pinned. 2 men waiting. It is then that Alara, the clan's oldest hunter, shuffles forward from the back of the cave. She was with them to teach the younger ones how to track, her body too frail for the hunt itself. but her mind sharper than any flint shard. Her eyes are not on the pursuing enemy. They are fixed on the landscape beyond, a grim map etched into her memory. They are proud, she rasps, her voice thin but hard as stone. They think their tooth minus claws make them gods, but gods do not bleed. She points a bony finger north, towards a deep, shadowed gully where the trees grow twisted and strangely sparse. The gully, Lord, she whispers. Kale understands immediately. The gully, Lord, a territorial, foul minus-tempered Albertosaurus that has claimed the gully as its Q-zone. No sane creature, human or beast, enters that ravine. It is a place of bones and silence. A landscape of osteodontocratic chaos where the splintered remains of past meals serve as grim warnings. The plan dawns on him, as terrible as it is brilliant. A flicker of hope in a sea of despair. They will not fight the Red Hands and their raptors. They will lead them. They will become the bait to lure the hunters into the jaws of a true monster. It is a plan born of foresight. A gamble that uses their intimate knowledge of this patch of ancient turf as their only weapon. Mana is too weak to run. She will stay here, the final, defying guard. Calendar will make the run. One to draw the pack, the other to create a distraction. To ensure the Red Hands follow deep enough into the gully, the choice is made without words. A shared understanding forged in a world that offers no easy answers. Community is not about living together. It is about choosing how to die for each other. The signal is a sharp, bird-like whistle from Kale. He unlaw bursts from the cave's mouth, to fleeting shadows against the ancient stone. The jungle erupts behind them. A cacophony of raptor screeches and the guttural shouts of the Red Hands fill the air. The hunt is on. They run, not with the panicked desperation of prey, but with the grim purpose of the bait. Nor is younger, his legs pumping tirelessly as he pulls ahead, drawing the main body of the pack. Kale hangs back just enough, crashing through ferns, breaking branches, ensuring their pursuers don't lose the trail. The Red Hands are confident, their war cries filled with the arrogance of a predator that has never known defeat. They push their living weapons forward, the Deinonychus pack flowing through the undergrowth in a terrifying display of controlled chaos. They cross an unseen line. The forest changes. The air grows still, heavy with a primal silence that smothers all other sound. The ground is a carpet of shattered bones and dried viscera. This is the domain of the Gully Lord, a corner of this prehistoric world ruled by pure, indiscriminate violence. The pursuing raptors sense it first. They slow, their chittering calls turning to lower, uneasy growls. Their handlers, the Red Hands, urge them on, draw into the shifting atmosphere. Then the ground trembles. It is not a subtle vibration, but a deep, resonant tremor that travels up through the soles of their feet and into their teeth. From the shadows of the gully, a head the size of a boulder rises, its snout scarred and its yellow eye, ancient and merciless, fixing on the intruders. The Albertosaurus, a smaller but no less ferocious cousin of the Tyrannosaurus rex, lets out a roar that is not a sound but a physical force, tearing through the air and stunning the chaos into a moment of frozen terror. The Red Hand's perfect tactical formation shatters. The dinosaur battle is absolute anarchy. The Deinonychus, caught between their handlers' commands and their own primal fear, turn on anything that moves. One leaps onto the back of a Red Hand warrior, its sickle claw finding a soft throat, to more foolishly dart at the leg of the Albertosaurus, only to be snatched up in colossal jaws and broken with a single, sickening crunch. The Gully Lord wades into the fray, a force of nature unleashed, its massive feet crushing raptors and men alike. It is a war of attrition where every side is losing. In the midst of the carnage, Law sees the Red Hand leader attempting to rally his remaining forces for an escape. If he succeeds, the river people are still doomed, with a final war cry that is all defiance. Law hurls his spear at the tyrant's flank. The weapon bounces harmlessly off the thick hide, but it does its job. The great head swings around, its baleful eye locking onto the small, defiant human. Kale can only watch in horror as law meets his end. A selfless act of altruism that buys his clan's future with the currency of his own life. Kale slips away into the jungle as the symphony of death fades behind him. He does not feel triumph, only the hollow ache of survival. The red hands are gone. Their living weapons turn to mulch under the feet of a greater power. Their revolutionary strategy of warfare undone by the very brutality they sought to harness. But the true horror lingers in Kale's mind. A poison that will forever change the landscape of human evolution. The most dangerous creature in the gully was not the giant carnivore. It was not the pack of razor-minus clawed raptors. It was the idea. The chillingly simple, terrifyingly effective thought that one tribe of ancient humans could look upon the killing power of the dinosaurs and see not a threat, but a tool. The gully lord was a monster of instinct. But the red hands were monsters of invention. This was the dawn of a new age, where the spear in a man's hand was no longer his most dangerous weapon. From this day forward, the greatest threat to humanity would be humanity itself, its boundless ingenuity now forever bound to its capacity for calculated cruelty. The chronicle is written not in stone, but in bone, each entry a fossilized choice, proving that our greatest monsters were never the ones with scales, but the ones who first looked at their brother and saw prey. But, on the great southern plains, the earth trembles for a different reason.